But let's go back here. December 2022. Remember, the Rangers season seemed to be slipping a little bit. Jacob Trouba goes out there. The captain gets nasty. He's hitting, he's scrapping, smashes the helmet, tells his team to wake up. They did. This year, Rangers struggling, getting outshot terribly by this Detroit team that beat them. Mason Appleton shoots it right at the buzzer. Goes in the empty net. Jonathan Quick has had enough. He worked hard in that game. He comes off the bench. A little bit of a scuffle ensues there, but they lost 3 straight after that one. They've won 2 in a row since then. Remember, in 2022, they went on a 7-game winning streak. So you look at the captain here, and Coach, I'll start with you. You're looking for an identity. You're looking for a mindset. Does this Rangers team this year have one, do you think?
I think they do. And listen, I coached Sully in Phoenix for a while, and I love the guy. He had coach written all over him as a player. You heard him talk about changing their identity and becoming harder to play against. Their version of being harder to play against was tighten it up defensively. Now they are 4th in the league at goals against. When you have that, you have something to build on every game. Yeah, the goal scoring wasn't there early. That's going to come. There's too much talent in that locker room for it not to come. The first thing he had to do was tighten it up and give them a good chance to win every game. You play good Team D in our league, you have a good chance to win every game. The goals will come. Now you've got JT Miller as your captain. They missed him. You got Trocheck back. They help with that identity and being hard to play against because they're nasty. They're hard to play against, and they're going to drag all these other guys back into the fight, right? So when you do that, then the goals for are going to come. But I absolutely love what Jonathan Quick did. Like, okay, the coach wants us to have an identity. The coach wants us to play harder against. These guys are coming to our rink, and they doing that. I'm not taking that. So I loved what he did. He's not the biggest guy, right? But he's the first guy off the bench, and he goes right at him. And now you're dragging other guys into the fight. I was kind of shocked and a little disappointed that they went on that road trip and lost 3 games. I said, because every game, every team, when you're not winning, something's got to catapult you to get you going again. I kind of figured that was the ignition to light the fire. It didn't happen. But now they've come back and won 2 games. But I love seeing that stuff when the players come off the bench and the passion. That's great. That's what makes our game great.
I mean, he's got a quick wit, no pun intended. Did it concern you a little bit that it had to be the goaltender to do it, or just because it all went down so fast, you're like, it doesn't matter?
He's the goalie. That's his net. That's my net. You're not doing that to my net. I love that. I thought it was great.
And I was going to go back to Sully. Like, I felt like he stayed very calm early in the year, despite only scoring 6 goals in the first 7 home games and really off to a rough start. But he was very complimentary of the process, not necessarily the result. So as a head coach, is that kind of where your mind frame is, where if your guys are playing well and they're playing your system, yet the result's not there, you try to stay even keel and be patient?
Because that process started last summer. It just didn't start in game 1. It started last summer when he took the job and he had his meetings with his players, his conversations with his players. Everything was probably geared towards playing defensively. Now you go into training camp, all your meetings, all your practices, everything's geared up to play better team defense. Now it leads into the season, and you're playing great defensively. Yeah, you're not scoring, but then you've got to believe, okay, we're doing a lot of good things here. That process is going to take care of itself. We look in the locker room, there's goal scorers here. So sometimes you can't explain that. How do they not score? You can't. But early in the year, I watched the first couple of games, they didn't score. The third game I watched, all of a sudden, goal scorers who usually pick corners, they're shooting at pads. They're shooting in the middle of the net. They just wanted to hit the net. So once you get past that and you start scoring goals, the goals are going to come. That's a good team. Sully's a great coach. He's got a good staff. They've got the nucleus down of how to play the game the right way, and they're going to be okay.
I think it's easy for a coach like Sully Bones to go on there and preach that message and have the guys buy in, because he's got that added credibility. He could throw those Stanley Cup rings on the table, and he could say, hey, I got Sidney Crosby, I got Evgeny Malkin, I got these guys to buy in. You guys need to buy in too, because this is what success looks like. And back to your point about Jonathan Quick, the Rangers have been brutal at home. So I felt like when I was watching that player, watching that kind of happen, he's saying we're taking back home ice, because it's been way too easy for teams to come into MSG, which is one of the best buildings in the NHL to play in, and teams come in there and just been slapping the Rangers around. They haven't been scoring. So now Quickie's saying, you know what, we might have lost this game, but I'm taking my pound of flesh.
It felt bigger than just a moment. It didn't feel like it was just in that moment.